their lack of embrace of that. The problem becomes, well, then what do you embrace? Okay, you don't have to be Catholic, you don't have to be Christian, you don't have to be Muslim, you don't have to be anything.
Correct.
But what are you? Now we start to get into what the real concern is. What are you really about? Every generation fears that the next one is soft and broken and different in this country, right?
That is
Our
very
parents
true.
lived in fear of the boob tube. That thing's going to suck out your brain. And now it's us with the phones. I think we're more right than they were, but it doesn't matter. So having concerns about the next generation, not unusual. But to Patrick's point, policies, ways, mechanisms, what are you about? That's where we have the problem. What are you encouraging? One of the things I would love to see from our government is a mandated year of service after high school.
Totally agree. I say it all the time.
And it doesn't have to be military. It doesn't have to be military.
Now, this, and I don't want to extend this video too long, but it is a great video to watch, and I would love for you guys to actually go and look it up at the PBD podcast with Chris Cuomo. It's episode 334. And this that they're about to mention, which is the last part that I want to, and I'm going to end it there, is about when you actually get out of high school and you need to do some service to actually understand how the world works. You can't just, I don't know, just go to college and just input any beliefs that they get from you, because college has changed completely. And I believe that once you get out of high school, it is very good to actually have a community service program where either you're working with the community, you're working, cleaning trash on the street, you're working customer service, even at a store. I personally work helping elderly people gain the best insurance possible for them. And I've worked in customer service my whole life. And I also pursued acting as well. So I've dealt with more social aspects than many people, and not more than a lot of people, because of course there's always somebody that has done more than you, but enough to understand how people work and how you have to become a chameleon. Taking acting classes actually helped a lot, because it's not about people who say that actors are liars. No, they're adapters. It's not about liars, because you're not lying, you're adapting to the situation. So that's one of the things that I do actually recommend for everybody, is to actually take a psychology class with a psychologist that's actually teaching psychology, not imposing beliefs. And another one would be to be in customer service, to understand and take an acting class, to understand how emotions work, but you can suppress them and do it at the right moment, because there's a lot of technique that acting teaches in this moment. But I'll let Cuomo speak here, and I'll end it right after this one.
But it has to be for everybody. My kids, the garbage man kids, the postman's kids, the general's kids, the senator's kids. Why? Because you will be inculcating a value system, that this is what we do. We surrender the me to the we.
Yes.
We don't do that in any collective way. And even when we kind of do it, like we were talking about the first responders, the cops, we don't really see them as what they are and what they're supposed to mean to us. Oh, because they don't live up to it. But the standard should still exist.
Exactly.
And when they don't live up to it, what are they not living up to? It just reinforces that you need to have the standard. And when the overwhelming majority lives up to a standard, why do you have a culture that is all about the negative and showing the aberrant cases and the minority of the reality,
Exactly.
which is where it goes wrong? Why do we harp only on that? The misplaced virtue is to say, well, that's how we ensure it gets better. No, it isn't. Here's something I know as a matter of fact.
And this is the problem with the media, the mainstream media. A lot of the mainstream media that might be leftist, which is probably true, is the one that has been harping around the negative of the police force when they're not reinforcing and showing the positive. Of course, it should be dealt with, but it isn't the majority of cases. And that's what has flipped society around a lot. But I completely agree with Cuomo on this. And mind you, he was considered a leftist, but he's not. It looks like either he's independent or I don't know what he is right now, but I believe he's very independent thinker, and I admire that as well.
Okay. And by the way, I suck at this. You want to change behavior. You're fat. Okay. You're not doing well at work. Your kid's doing lousy in school. Your kid is just a bastard. You know, whatever it is, bad behavior. My generation is, you're going to get a beating for this. This is going to be bad.
My generation too.
Does that work? Yes, despite the mechanism.
Correct.
The best way, this guy, Alan Kasdan, you can look.
Let me tell you, my mom gave me 6 slaps in the face in a row for calling myself I'm a dumbass because I was doing a pity party. 6 slaps in a row. And to this day, I say, Mom, thank you.
Look it up, Kazdin. This guy spent decades studying results of how to fix bad kids. And there are bad kids. You know, this idea that there's no such thing as bad kids, just bad parents. No, there's bad kids because they're bad behaviors. And you got to look at the cause for the behavior, and then you go to the parent and go to a million other things. Here's how you change anything, okay? And even the word discipline, okay? Discipline does not mean punishment. It means to follow. And what you follow is going to lead you to a destination. You follow something bad, you're going to wind up bad. You follow good, you're going to go good.
I'm going to leave it right there, but I want to end it on that note because I don't want to make this video too long at all. But yes, let's move over here. To finalize, exactly what he said at the end is what you follow is what you could become. And if what they're teaching is something that is outside of reality and delusional, then that's what's going to happen. So in essence, it actually comes from the home. The home is the foundation of absolutely everything. That's why parents, you guys need to ask your children what are they learning, and you are the root of their beliefs. You are the root of their future. You are the root of pretty much everything because it actually begins at home. Despite what, you know, society might say that, yes, we could be, or they could be coerced with social media and what they're taught outside, but ultimately they got to go home and they'll understand that whoever gave them life can have the better influence for them. Of course, if your parents are actually steering you the wrong way, I hope that that's not the case, but it always begins at home. So let me know what you guys thought on the description below. Let me know what you guys thought on the comments below. If you like this video, subscribe, like the channel. It really helps the channel. If you want to see more videos on this, just let us know, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.